The next bucket is going to be some slightly more specialized pieces, but with skilled labor shortages and claim volume, they are becoming more commonplace. Portable man lifts are what crews use when access is tight and a bucket truck just can't get there. Now, think about fenced yards, narrow sides, low overhangs. These lifts give safe vertical access without tearing up the property, but they do require some additional steps to kind of set up and take down. And then when you see one on site or in an estimate or on an invoice, it's an indicator that maybe there was an access constraint or that it was a likely concern. And that being said, the contractor should be able to clearly point out why this piece was needed for this particular claim. Okay, here we go, crane folks. Cranes come into play when weight, height, and structural involvement make traditional removal unsafe. This isn't about the size of the tree, it's about where the tree is and what's underneath it. Now, when sections are over homes, garages, and utilities, a crane can allow for controlled lifting instead of letting gravity decide where that tree is going to fall. Now, this precision reduces the secondary damages, keeps crews out of high-risk positions, and the cost for these things, they're going to vary widely based on the size of the crane, the reach ability, and then the regional availability. But when you see a crane on site, it's usually because that's the safest and maybe even the only viable option. And again, the contractor involved should be able to clearly articulate and document why it was necessary over traditional tree removal methods. Excuse me. Now, knuckle boom trucks, these are a game changer on complex tree jobs because they combine cutting, lifting, and sometimes even hauling into one system. Now, instead of multiple steps like cutting, dragging, and loading out, these trucks can grab an entire large section, cut them out of the tree, lift them clear, and then load them directly onto a truck. And this reduces manual handling of materials, keeps crews out of dangerous positions, and it speeds up the debris removal process significantly. And for your claim file, when you see knuckle booms on site or in your paperwork, it's usually going to signal that more of a heavy material was needed to be moved efficiently and safely. Now, talking again about removal versus debris, all right, this equipment has the ability to do everything in one single step. Okay, this type of machine isn't going to stop to make a pile of debris to be handled later. It's going to cut that section and it's going to deliver it directly to the chipper in the chip truck if space allows for it. We're going to talk a little bit more about this here in a second. Now, turf mats are also there for property protection. They're placed under heavy equipment to prevent rutting, compaction, or damage to lawns and landscaping. And when access is tight or soils are soft, these mats allow work to continue safely. They also do add some additional time and cost to the overall claim. And you may not see these on every job, so it's okay to ask why if you run into them. Is that property wet? Are we protecting landscaping? Does equipment require it for safety? These are all valid questions to ask.